Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavim Kavinamupamastravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvan Utibhitsi Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Safivardam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Yasyadvirada Vaktra Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Nigdhanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tam Asraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Bhishma Drona Tatha Jayadrata Jala Gandhar Nilotpala Shalya Grahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Asvattama Vikarna Ghoramakara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Kalu Pandavaihi Rananadi Kaivartakaha Keshavaha. With Bhagwan's grace, we came up to slokam number 48. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi na tyajet sarvaramba hi doshena dhumena agnihi iva avritaha. Slokam number 49. With a detached mind self set always. Now Bhagavan, in the next few slokams, as he promised, he is going to tell us with clarity and again how we should do the yoga, what we should do in order to embrace him, how we can achieve him. So that's what's beginning now. Okay. Yesterday, one of the last questions was Dhumena Agnihi Iva Avritaha. What does that mean? What are we talking of? The important thing is where just as a smoke clouds the fire and you're not able to see the fire, it's all very cloudy and nothing is clear. Same way, when we begin an action, how many times we really think of worshipping Bhagavan or worshipping the action itself just as we begin it? Okay, that is where the mind is clouded. Okay, that is the reason the comparison is given. So, slokam number 49. With a detached mindset always, victorious in the control of mind and without desires, he attains very quickly that supreme state of Naishkamya Karma. Naishkamya Karma, which means doing actions peacefully without desiring their result. That's the very first step in obtaining Bhagavan, is to be able to do every action peacefully, without agitation, without desiring the results. So with a detached mind, victorious in control of mind, without desires. Asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma vikata sprugaha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. Sanyasam. Remember what we had discussed the meaning? That's exactly what Bhagavan is saying here. Okay. Asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhikachati. Asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhikachati. Padangal are asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruhaha Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhikachati. Sarvatra, everywhere. Asakta buddhihi, without attaching to things. Detached. Detached means you've got to be attached to Bhagavan, right? In that feeling. Asakta buddhihi, without attachment. Okay. Jitatma, with the control of the internal control, the control of the mind. The mind is very peaceful because you are controlling it. You are not following the mind is following your dictate. Jitatma, victorious in controlling the internal agitations of the mind. When there are no, and next one explains that. Vikata Sprugaha, without desires. When there are no desires, mind is still. Okay? That person, Sanyasena, this is the most important. All these things are achieved. Asakta Buddhihi, Jitatma, Vigata Sprugaha, they are not achieved in isolation. They are a result of something else, which is Sanyasena, through Sanyasam. And Sanyasam is Sanyasam, staying in the company of Bhagavan, thinking of Bhagavan, keeping Bhagavan's company automatically results in Asakta Buddhihi, results in Vikata Sprugaha, and results in Jitatma. With that attitude, with that approach, and with that experience level, Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam Siddhim. Okay? Naishkarmya, without desiring the results of the activity. Any action you do, you don't desire the results. That's what Bhagavan has been teaching all through. Okay? So, Paramam Siddhim, Paramam, the most sacred, exalted state, Siddhim, fulfillment, Adhigachati, that state of Naishkarmya, ability to do every action without desiring its results. Therefore, the mind is calm when you do it. Automatically, you attain that stage of doing all the actions that come your way as worship and not desiring the results. That is the first stage in approaching, getting closer to Bhagavan. Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam Adhikachati, he attains. Adhikachati, very well. That means very soon, almost immediately. Asakta Buddhihi Sarvatra Jitatma Vigata Sprugaha Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam Sanyasena Adhigachati. Then what happens once he attains that stage of being able to do the actions without desiring the results, following Bhagavan's command? Next stage is described by Bhagavan. Slokam number 50. My dear son of Kunti, after attaining this state, he reaches the Brahman, who is the end of knowledge. Learn how he does this briefly from me. Once you achieve this, you reach Brahman. How are you going to do that? I'm going to tell you that. Siddhim prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Siddhim prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Siddhim prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Parangal are Siddhim praptaha yatha brahma tatha apnoti nibodha me samasena eva kaunteya nishthaha jnanasya ya para. Kaunteya, Siddhim praptaha, that stage of Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam, that stage of ability doing actions without desiring results, praptaha, having obtained, yata, in which way, how, jnanasya ya para nishtha, jnanasya, the knowledge, ya, which one, para nishtha, the limit, the end of it. Okay, that end, what is it? That is Brahma. Okay, that is Brahman. Jnanasya ya paranishta. Jnanasya paranishta is Brahman. Ya paranishta, which is that end? That is Brahman. Apnoti, how he attains it. Yata apnoti, how after having achieved Naishkarmya Siddhim Paramam, how does he achieve Yata Brahma Prapnoti? How does he achieve Brahma? Tata, that way, that method, the details of that, how that is done. Samasena, briefly, in a summary form, may from me nibodha, understand, learn, experience. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tatapnoti nibodha me samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Slokam number 51, 52, 53. The three of them we will take together because Bhagavan is describing from the Naishkarmya Siddhim stage, from doing actions without desiring result stage, which is the first step, how we achieve Paramapadam. What happens? What is the various transformations that takes place by itself? This is the beauty of it. 51, 52, 53. With highly purified mind, fortitude, control of body and mind, disassociation with the contact of sense attractions such as sound, relinquishing likes and dislikes, seeking solitude, eating little, controlling body, mind and speech, always immersed in the thoughts of the indweller, and holding on to him firmly without the feeling of I am the doer, ahamkaram, unmindful of the powers obtained during spiritual progress, and not being in vain about them, relinquishing desire, anger, and possessiveness. Without the feeling of mine, he attains peace and becomes eligible to be Brahman. Slokam number 51. Buddhaya visuddhaya yuktaha dhrutyatmanam niyamya cha sabdadine vishayane tyaktva ragadveshau. So buddhaya, visuddhaya, purified. And how do you purify? Like a piece of iron gets purified only in fire, right? Like that, in the company of Bhagavan, all the impurities get pulverized. They disappeared. They dissolved. So it becomes, you shine in purity. With that buddhi, visuddhaya, buddhaya, yuktaha, along with that, accompanied by, endowed with, that's what yuktaha means. Dhrutya, with fortitude, unshakable determination, the fortitude. And atmanam, here atmanam means both the body as well as the mind. Atma has got several meanings. Here it means both the body and the mind. Niyamya cha, both the body, that means the senses associated with the body, the jnanendriyangal and the karmendriyangal, they are niyamya, they are controlled, they are withdrawn in the sense they are not negated. Please understand, nothing is negated in Bhagavan's kingdom. But they are controlled, they are managed, they are allowed to do only their job, nothing more. Okay, nothing more beyond what they are supposed to do. Same way, mind is also controlled. Okay, niyamya. And then sabdadine vishayane, all the various sense object attractions that attract us through the five senses that we have, like sabdadine, like the sound, like the vision, like the smell, like the taste, or like the touch. There are so many things that attracts us. Sabdadine vishayane, all these various things that attract, all those vishayangal, tyaktva, giving it up. Okay, let go. No longer falling prey to the attraction of the sense objects. Okay, you have given it up. Raga dveshau yudasya cha. Ragaha means attraction, liking. Okay, and dvesham means dislike. Raga dvesha. So we like something, we don't like something. That dislike attitude also should be given up. A purely sattvic person will not see the difference between ragam and dvesham. Everything is okay for him, balance. Okay, and so that one yudasya cha means, and yudasya means giving up, letting go. That is 51. Okay, 52. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritaha. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritaha. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritaha. Padangal are vivikta sevi, lagu asi, yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paraha nityam vairagyam Samupasritaha, Sama Upasritaha, Samupasritaha. Sam upasritaha, not sama. Sam upasritaha, sam upasritaha. Okay. Vivikta sevi. Vivikta sevi means seeking solitude. Laghu ashi means eating very little, very controlled. Okay. They don't eat much. Vak, kaya, manasaha, yata. Yata means to control. Well controlled. Vak means speech. Kaya means body. Manasam is mind. So my speech, body and mind are well controlled. Dhyana, nityam always, dhyana yoga paraha. The dhyana always immersed in dhyana yoga, which means always thinking of the indweller, thinking of him all the place. Sarvada sarvakaleshu sarvatra hari chintanam. In all places, at all times, in all ways, think of Bhagavan. Think of Bhagavan. That is what he is doing. Dhyana yoga paraha. Vairagyam. With vairagyam means loosely translated as detachment. No, it is not detachment. Vairagyam means it is attaching to the lotus feet, attaching to Bhagavan. Okay. Samupasritaha. All the things are very well done. Samupasritaha. Well endowed, well done. Very well executed. Vivikta sevi lagvasi yatavakaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasrutaha. Slokam 53. Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamaha shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamaha shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamaha shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Padangal are ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamaha shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahamkaram, I am the doer. In a practical sense, ahamkaram and mamakaram, which is nirmamaha, it comes. So let me take both together and give a very practical lesson that I learned. And when you talk about ahamkaram and mamakaram, it looks like very difficult to give those things up. Not necessarily. It's basically nothing more than selfishness and self-aggrandizement. Okay, so self-aggrandizement is nirmamaha, mine. So I have to push myself. No, give it up. Very easy to do. We can start not aggrandizing ourselves. Stay in the corner, as the saying is, they also serve who stand and wait. Bhagavan knows when your turn comes to serve, you can serve. You don't have to announce yourself. You don't have to push yourself. So nirmamaha is self-aggrandizement, can easily be controlled, can easily be obtained. Ahamkaram, the selfishness, could take a little bit longer. Doesn't matter. The way to do that is to do more unselfish things. Practice being selfless, practice being less selfish, control selfishness, control desires. Automatically that gateway also will open. So ahamkaram is I am the doer feeling. Nirmamaha is the without the feeling of mine. This belongs to me. This is mine. That kind of feeling without that. And balam. Balam is here. It's not the physical strength, the muscular strength. No. When we approach this way through Naishkarmya Siddhim and all the other things result as associated with that, as you progress spiritually, different spiritual strengths come to, powers come to you. Those kind of powers, that balam. And that is what Bhagavan is talking about. So, that balam, darpam, associated with the spiritual powers, some siddhic powers as we say in English, those powers, balam, darpam. In addition to that, kamam, krodham. The darpam means the pride, the ego. When you get the spiritual powers, you exhibit it and impress people and that kind of stuff, right? So that along that you have certain pride. So you have to be very careful. In fact, Kanchi Paramacharya says in spiritual journey it's like walking on a banana leaf. You have to be very careful. The moment you think I have no ego, that you're basically slipped. It has to be very, very careful. The humility is very important. Vinayam is very important. So that's all happens only through holding on to the lotus feet and not be bothered by the various additional powers that you get. in the progress. Okay, so balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham. Kamam is desire, krodam is anger, and parigraham is possessiveness. This is mine. I want to acquire this. That kind of a thing. So kamam, krodam, parigraham, darpam, balam, all these things, vimuchya, giving it up, completely eliminating it. Okay, completely giving it up and dissolving them. And nirmamaha, without the feeling of mine. When you imagine at this stage what happens, shantaha, mind is really peaceful. Peace, shantam is really there. With that shantam, with that shanti, without desires, without anger, without possessiveness, without pride, and without the feeling this is mine, I am the doer, without all those things, you attain a state of shanti. Okay, sha antihi. Antihi means end. Sha means in the company of Bhagavan. So that is why it is so peaceful and so blissful. That stage, Brahma Bhuyaya, to merge with Brahman itself, to become most expansive, occupying every nook and corner of this universe and beyond, Okay, the unmanifested part of it. Brahma Bhuyaya, Kalpate, you qualify, you deserve, you have achieved the stage, you have graduated. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Okay? So, let's read these three slokams together. Buddhaya visuddhaya yukto dhrutyatmanam niyamya cha sabdadin vishayam styaktva ragadveshau vyudasya cha vivikta sevi lagvasi yatavakaya manasah dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasrutah ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamat santah brahma bhujaya kalpate. Okay, so from Naishkarmya Kamam to Bhagavan's lotus feet, qualified to become Brahman itself. Brahman, not Brahma, Brahman itself. Okay, that is where Bhagavan has taken us. Slokam number 54. Yes, 54. Established in Brahman thus, with a pure mind, he does not feel sad. There is no misery. Vaikuntham means there is no misery there. He does not have any desires. He sees all beings as the same and experiences the supreme, incomparable devotion to me. This is where the Visishtadvaitam comes. You are still not merged, but you are in that ocean of bliss, incomparable bliss. And Panditaha Samadarshanaha, Bhagavan taught. This is where you see Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, Mamaivamso Jivabhute Jivalokas Sanatanaha. All those you can see. Bhagavan, everywhere you see the one that is in many, the constant thing that is there in the ever-changing universe, that constancy, which is basically, it is nothing but selfless love, prema, as described by Upanishad, by Bhagavan himself. So established in Brahman thus, with a pure mind, he does not feel sad. He has no desires. He sees all beings as the same and experiences the supreme, incomparable devotion to me. Now listen, there is a bhakti at the stage. Okay, then later on comes the merger. Okay, so bhakti, 1854. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. But the bhakti yoga, what all the things Bhagavan said, that bhakti comes here. This is what Bhagavatam is all about. It is the flow of bhakti between Bhagavan and Bhakta. That is what Bhagavatam is. You are at the stage like Sukha Munivar and Parikshit and all the other great devotees. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. The padangal are Brahma bhutaha prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mat Bhaktim Labate Param. Brahma Bhutaha. Having come to this stage and experienced Brahman himself. Having experienced Brahman himself. Okay. Immersed in the ocean of selfless love, which is not the love that we see in this world. Nothing to do with the love we see. It is entirely of different variety and different characteristics. So immersed in that selfless love, Brahma Bhutaha, Prasannatma, with the clarity of mind. The mind has got, it is like, absolutely there is no impurities. The clarity of mind means it is the jyoti, the light of selfless love is shining through that mind. The mind has become amanaskaha, as they say, without mind, which means no impurities, no desires, nothing. So the inner Atma is all its effulgence shines through it. Okay, with that, what happening to him? Na sochati, na kankshati. He is neither miserable, he has no miseries, na kankshati, no desires. Sarveshu bhuteshu, in all beings, samaha, equal. Equal means the seeing the oneness. There is no two anymore. It is seeing the oneness in all the sarveshu bhuteshu. With that experience, with that awareness, mad bhaktim param, prapanna parijata, we say. The bhakti is when you are immersed in it and you are tasting the bliss and the peace, and that creates a love for love itself. Okay, there's a tremendous pouring out of selfless love for selfless love itself. That madbhaktim param labhate, he attains. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Now, next slokam, when Bhagavan talks about the merger. At this time, it is still Visishtadvaidam. It is still the entity of two, the selfless love pouring from me into selfless love itself. Next slokam, Bhagavan describes how I become that selfless love itself, how the river merges in the ocean and becomes one. There is no feeling of separateness. That in the next slokam. With His grace, we will take it up tomorrow. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om